Hey there, Bushkies. Before we dive into the hilarity of today's episode, we have a special treat for all you meat enthusiasts out there.
That's right. We're talking about Jerky in a Box, the Canadian-based jerky company that's been satisfying taste buds since 1949.
Did you know Jerky in a Box is 3 generations strong, family-owned and operated? They've been marinating their 100% Canadian beef for over 24 hours, resulting in mouth-watering jerky that's naturally hardwood smoked.
With 14 bold flavors to choose from, there's something for everyone. Whether you're a fan of the classic original or you prefer a kick with their spicy barbecue, Jerky in a Box got you covered.
And here's the best part. Our listeners get an exclusive limited edition. 15% off their order site-wide with the code The Bush League Podcast at checkout.
So don't miss out on this opportunity to snack like a pro. Head over to jerkyinabox.ca and remember, orders over $65 shipped free Canada-wide.
Welcome to the Bush League Podcast, a show about nothing and everything.
All right, boys. We have stuff to discuss today.
What's the name of that verbo?
Yeah. I believe what we're looking for is the Montreal screw job.
Mm-hmm. Our own personal Montreal screw job. First, Brett, now the Bush League Podcast.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, that's all the time we have. We'll catch you next month. Big cliffhanger.
Yeah. So, let's start this off by explaining what we were going on about. And we're going to get everybody's take on it. And I must applaud Mr. Bourque for the greatest scripted email I've ever seen.
Thank you.
So, everybody knows we're going to Montreal or the Grand Prix. We're all very excited.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows now. Anyways.
The mayor himself called me, said, you going to Montreal in June?
People only know 2 things. Bush League Podcast going Montreal and the Eclipse.
100%. And you know what? More people probably saw the Eclipse. Anyway.
I'd hope so. Like
one thing at a
we
time.
haven't gone anywhere yet.
One thing at a time, bud.
All right.
So we booked this. Jeremy started the ball rolling, obviously, and it snowballed very quickly. And we had booked everything. Jeremy found a really nice place in Montreal. We're not even going to say their name unless we get mad.
I'll say it.
I'll say it.
I'll say their name.
Go ahead, Gary. Say their name. You know their name.
I don't know their name.
Oh, you forget? Did you forget?
I've never known.
Oh, you didn't?
I had no idea where we were going. I assumed you guys had all that covered.
Yeah, Gary and I are like, we just kind of roll.
I'll just get in the car and go.
Yeah, that's the way I was like.
They had rooms by the hour. I thought it was a great deal.
Man, that goes all the way back. Full circle to episode 1 of Cameron going, we just roll with the punches, shooting from the hip.
Shoot from the hip. That's right.
Gotta bring back the classics, baby. So anyway, we booked everything in when did we do that? Like
last summer.
Well, it was like
September. It was
The day the ticket came out. The day they announced the schedule.
So just so people know, we're going in June 2024 because who knows when you listen to this, and we booked this place to stay in July of 2023.
Correct.
Yeah.
Quite a ways out.
So anyway, as anybody who kind of got to know us through this podcast has come to probably realize nothing ever goes to plan ever.
We would have nothing to talk about if
no,
it
we
did.
wouldn't. No, we really wouldn't. So in the back of our minds, we had let this go forever. We're like, hey, we found a place to stay. We got the tickets to the race. We're doing good. Like, good for us. Yay. The bottom hasn't fallen out.
Mm-hmm.
Then Mr. Bourque gets an email And Jeremy, you can take it from here for the moment.
Well, the reason you book immediately when the schedule is announced for the following year is because you don't give the hotels time to realize what weekend that is and jack up the rates. So,
and some of them do because they already know they're waiting for.
They
they at least know what weekend it is.
They've already done it.
Right.
Yeah.
So the place that I found was like right basically downtown. It was handy to the metro. Would have been easy to just jump on the metro and
because
get over
you can't
to the
go on
track.
to the Montreal island because there's no road. You have to take a metro.
So it was right handy to that. And the weekend is 3 days. So you're basically traveling back and forth for 3 days. And, but the place I bought, I think it was, what was it? $180 a night. It was a room with two beds.
Two beds. And that's all it looked like it was. It was 2 beds. But we didn't care because that's all we need.
We're going to be putting in long days. Just want a place to lay my head down so we can do it all again tomorrow. That's all we want.
Get like 2.5 hours sleep maybe and move on.
We were even going to shower together to save on water. We didn't care.
Well, we're conservationists.
And we all just found out about that now.
Well, you're sharing a bed with them, so I'm just saying. I'm sharing a shower with them.
Whatever. But so a couple weeks ago, I get an email. I booked it through Verbo. Is that how you say it? Is it like V? Anyway,
Verbo.
And it's kind of like the Expedia equivalent or whatever. And so it was, got my confirmation, and we've had this place booked since last year, and it's all good. Everything's, we know when we're going, all planned out. And then I get an email.
Honky dory.
And then I get this email that anyways, I could bring it up, I guess, but it was just like, it was like one line that just said, due to an issue with your room on that date, we have to cancel your booking.
Yep.
Due to an issue. So, of course, we all know the issue.
Yes,
we're booked at $180 a night. Now, if you look at similar type of hotels, I remember checking like even a week after we had booked, they were already up to like $1,000 a night, $1,500 a night, anywhere.
I was going to say, I found one that was close, and it was $1,400 a night.
Right, for a
14, 18, 16, 1,000. Yeah.
Yeah. So they just say you're canceled, and there's nothing you can do. You don't have any leverage to, you just have to say, well, you're mean, that's not nice. And then you go on your way, because what are you going to do? So, so then we're like, okay, well, now we're basically a couple of months out now. Everything's been gone, booked for months. It was so funny. I don't know if I sent you guys a screenshot, but if you open like Expedia or any of those and look, it was like this like circle around Montreal, and all of the pins of stuff available was like at least 40 minutes out, 50 minutes or an hour. And it's all Airbnbs. There's a couple like pins right downtown Montreal, and they're at like the Marriott, and it's like $4,000 or $5,000 or those are still there. A couple of those.
Imagine.
But so anyways, I'm not one for nasty emails. I'm not one for even responding to stuff. But in the moment,
to be the most level-headed person and the calmest person we all know. I've never really heard you really say bad words or be even remotely kind of snarky, but this made me proud.
Well, it was, it's such a big thing, right? And in the moment, I just immediately responded. And I was like, I think I know what the issue is. I think you're realizing that you can charge $1,200 instead of $180,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not particularly fair, and it's also dishonest, and but I even I'm like, not that you're going to care about what I'm saying, and they wrote back probably like within the hour.
It was pretty quick.
It was quite quick, and it was basically like, we're really sorry for this unfortunate circumstance or whatever. Like
the
one
last
line.
the last line was "Thanks for understanding." And
thanks for understanding.
I thought right in my head, I was like, if Jeremy sent the first email, I could only imagine the explosion that's happening in Moncton right now.
Yeah.
But you maintained your composure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what are you going to do, right? Like, anyway, so.
But you said your piece. Very proud.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're going to make their money, and we got to deal with it. So we win.
I'm really curious if they did book it again. And I wonder how we could see.
Yeah.
That's what I
Because we're
wondered.
not dumb. That's what they did.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
If I saw it, and rightfully so, we should.
Well, if
complain.
you think of it,
There should be a formal complaint put in about that.
we had to rebook a spot, right?
Yes.
And
in
when we
panic.
looked for the spot, that hotel was not like, you know what I mean? It was not on there.
So they
unavailable.
probably are doing one of two things. They took themselves off of it, no people, and just privately went to those people and said, listen, like you can stay here or whatever. But that's, one thing. And of course, then as we were looking, someone suggested to me and Katie, her sister, said, well, look at the universities. They have dorms, and in the summer you can rent a dorm. I was like, that's a really good idea. I never thought of it because there's two universities in Montreal. So when Katie went to look it up, a booking company had taken those, and it was $1,000 a night for a dorm room.
Yeah. And we had a spot.
Yeah, and we
That's my
had
issue.
a spot.
We thought we were good. We had a spot. We booked ahead.
So we scrambled as, panicked, and we actually, we kind of were a little like, what are we going to do? We just got to figure this out. And it wasn't fun. So everybody collectively, I'm pretty sure everybody's, and us and our wives, everybody was looking.
Mm-hmm.
And we did find another place, but as backup, Mr. Bourque found a campground. And we know how Tyson loves the campground. Look at him, just her. So as a backup plan, we figure we booked one place and it is still there, right? We still have that. We haven't got the cancellation.
We still have that.
yeah, nothing yet.
Okay. So, of course,
you're talking about the penne, pepperoni, Pensacola there?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
So, of course, Jeremy gets a confirmation a little bit later, and he panics because he assumes it's them canceling already.
Yeah, panic of all these emails now.
So we did find a place, and as a backup, if we have to, we have a tent. I have a tent, and we'll just take a couple of air mattresses, and that'll be fine. But the first thing...
Cameron will pitch his tent.
I will pitch my tent. And it's a very large tent. It'll house
on Montreal.
Yeah. We'll sneak in, camp right on the island. We'll be stealth campers.
Yeah.
That's a big thing on YouTube. Stealth camping. We could do that.
Stealth camp?
Yeah.
Stealth camping.
That's fun, man.
They don't even know you're there.
You mean a squatter?
That's why it's called stealth camping.
Squatter camping. Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, where'd you guys come from? We've been here all week.
Yeah. Don't know what you're talking about.
Just gotta act like you just gotta act like you're supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Been hired by the city to build a monument.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Now, before we jump back into our shenanigans, let's take a moment to talk about everyone's favorite snack, jerky.
Specifically, jerky in a box. The jerky that's as Canadian as maple syrup and hockey. Made with 100% Canadian beef and marinated for over 24 hours, this jerky is packed with flavor.
And let's not forget about the variety. With 14 bold flavors to choose from, Jerky in a Box has something for every taste bud, from savory to spicy. They've got it all.
Did you know Jerky in a Box offers free shipping on orders over $65 anywhere in Canada? It's like a gift from the meat-loving heavens.
And here's a little something extra for our listeners. Use code The Bush League Podcast at checkout for an exclusive 15% off your order.
So what are you waiting for? Head over to jerkyinabox.ca and stock up on the snack that's perfect for road trips, gaming, marathons, or just satisfying those mid-show cravings.
Now back to the show.
So that was exciting. So
Yeah, not really. No.
I'm not gonna lie. I was a little excited to bring my little tent trailer down. I was kind of looking forward to that, you know?
But having
The
said
9-hour
that,
drive hauling a trailer.
What?
having said
The
that,
9-hour drive.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
well,
you know,
and,
it'd be all right.
and just not that, but then you start thinking about, all right, now, I'm not a small fellow, and none of us are. So the trailer plus us equals
No, we would
that
have
ain't
to
gonna
do,
work.
we'd have to do it the tent and the trailer. It's just 2 people would get the trailer and 2 people would be in the tent, but at least you have your own bed. And the trailer's nice, man. You know, you're up off the ground. You get a heater in there.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson doesn't even like. He's just looking. Like, you can't even sell him on this one.
The only thing is,
I just took that as you saying all 4 of us will end up in the trailer at some point in the night. It has a heater.
Yeah.
It's off the ground.
yeah.
Well, and the first
Yeah.
thing our friend Dougie said, he said, "You realize if you wind up in that tent, it is going to rain." I'm like, "Yep,
That's
I
for
have
sure.
fully come to that. I've embraced."
That's
No
the
doubt.
only thing. It's like if you knew the weather was going to be nice, it's like, you know. But yeah,
Yeah, but
we also don't have anything to tow it with. Well, we have my car, but you guys would have to stay home.
We just tandem.
stay home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just set up a tandem.
That's what I was doing. Just a couple chains.
cars,
Oh,
one
God.
trailer.
Wow.
make a B train.
Yeah, just like
Unreal.
when I went down to when I went camping in Fundy, outside of Fundy there, and we went, of course I went the wrong way because I followed Google and it said go this way.
Ryobi. Ryobi.
So it says to go over this hill, and Jeremy knows the mountain. I don't remember the name of it. Anyway, I didn't know that we were just following it. It was a terrible road, and at one point, a guy drove by. The guy drove by in a Ford F-150, towing a white van with 2 chains, and he just drove by. And Katie goes, "What is that?" I go, "The guy's pulling him home." She goes, "I've never seen that in my life." I'm like, "Yeah, we're really in here deep now. Yeah, just don't break
So
down."
at what point did you find out you were on the footpath?
I want to know what 2 Chainz was like when you met him.
Yeah, I can see the tandem thing for sure.
Yeah. Well,
Good job.
so yeah. Anyways, we got a plan now. So Gary, did you ever? Can you hear that?
Hear what?
I can hear it pretty loud in my headphones. This is the washer. Because now,
Would have
Now
no
wash.
idea.
all right.
No, I don't.
But now
hear
you got to
a thing.
put something in there just for.
It's like
Wait,
a Rush concert.
His camera is shaking. So obviously, the washer's in spin cycle.
Hang on, I
Rush
gotta go put a
concert.
microphone in front of it.
Yeah. It's the 18 rotisserie chickens just turning around.
That's
Yeah.
so great. I love that so much.
Me too.
Yeah. So, anyways, Gary, so you said at one point that was where Arcade Fire. What was that
That
about?
was, yeah, that's their early days. That's one of the bars they used to play in all the time. And apparently there was a big thing happened there where one of the band members quit the band at that bar, had a live show.
Okay.
Like, how was that
So
about a
it's kind
selling
of
point to that place?
their origin story.
Interesting. True origin story. Start with someone rage quitting. Excellent.
We're staying in like the arts and culture
Mhm.
neighborhood of the city.
And from what I
Makes
understand,
sense.
because we're there on a weekend, I would bring noise canceling headphones or earbuds and have a noise machine on my.
Might want those for the race too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I have those because I
What?
know. Shocker. But the best part is we're reading the review that Jeremy sent us, or someone sent us a review in our chat, and it says like it was loud. I could feel the bass, and I'm thinking, well, the rest of the boys is going to be right at home. They're going to fall asleep in
Well,
2 seconds.
The other thing too is
Or
it
wanna
was
go
too
downstairs.
loud. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was too loud. I could feel the bass out. I couldn't sleep. You booked a room above a bar that it's known for playing music.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't book the Marriott. Like, you booked this Verbo.
Especially this weekend or that weekend. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, I
don't
already
want it to
know
be
they're going to be
noisy.
playing music till 2:30 in the morning. I'm already aware. Like,
Yeah.
it is what it is. I need
Well, I said for
My
you guys,
earplugs or
seriously, it'd be like
something.
lullabies to you guys. You'd be just like, oh, this is great.
My only concern is the vegetarian burritos downstairs and the shared bathroom facilities upstairs.
it's basically a house. Like, it's just a house with 2 rooms and 1
Upstairs,
bathroom and like a main like little lobby area.
No check-in. You have to go to the bar to check in.
you go to the
That's
bar.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here for the room.
You know what?
It's going to
though?
be a good time, guys.
Oh yeah. You know what though? I was saying like it's like if I was going with my family, I'd be way more stressed about all that. You know what I mean? Like I'd be like, I don't know if that's gonna work.
I'm with you.
or-
This is just another story to tell.
yeah, this like, but it's gonna sound wrong, but it's like I kind of like I don't care. You know, whatever. I mean, if 2 of us has a terrible time, you know, it's a good story. It's fine.
We draw straws.
You know
Who's
what I
gonna have
mean?
the terrible time?
If that's what you
well, I'm
want,
just-
if that's
I'm
what
just
you want,
saying.
you better take me camping, I guess.
I'm gonna bring the trailer anyway. You guys we're gonna be like in Quebec City and be like, turn around and be like, oh, trailer's been behind us the whole time.
Oh yeah. Well, we wouldn't notice it at all. And,
No.
hey, where'd that come from?
Oh, man.
Jeremy set it up right in the road, right out there in his parking spot.
Oh,
What are
yeah.
you doing? I got these 2 parking spots, and I'm gonna set my trailer up right here.
Yeah, it would fit. It would fit in there. And you know what? Those trailers, the door, you can lock the door. Can you lock the door on yours, Cam? Mine, like the door is lockable.
Someone actually
It's a tent trailer. Like just the zipper.
someone
You
replaced
just
mine
let the
years
zipper
ago. Mine was an actual handle from like a screen door that someone actually like the push button that someone replaced it. So there was a key at one time, but now it's just
It's just
push
so
button.
funny. Like there's a door here with a lockable handle.
yeah. And meanwhile, you can push the like as the door is here, like right
Yeah.
here. In around it is like you just push your fist and you like move the Velcro.
You'll
you just put your
remove
hand
the
in lock.
Velcro and just walk
Yeah.
inside.
You take the door off. You go like that and just run your hand down and just step in,
Man.
like no problem.
This
It's such a
camping
fun
thing is
thing. All the
getting more and
booby
more
traps.
appealing all the time.
Yeah,
Hey,
just
Don't
don't
worry,
get a tent
Tyson.
trailer.
I'll have that thing loaded with booby traps. Nobody's getting in or out.
You're fine.
It's gonna go around with proximity mines.
Proxy.
Just puts them around and they'll explode and kill everyone on contact.
So I think we've properly presented exactly how furious we are about the whole thing.
Oh yeah, or just raging.
I was raging.
We were
That's
at
a
the
problem.
time.
Like this was what was it, a month and a half now or a month ago or whatever?
Oh,
it was?
not
Only like
even.
3
Not
weeks
even.
ago,
Not 3
Yeah.
weeks ago.
That's
Okay.
only 3
3
weeks.
weeks ago.
Well, I mean, it's like water under the bridge now. It's like now we've got another. If we didn't have a place booked still, there'd be a lot more like rage. Like, or if like we couldn't
Panic.
find a spot that was under like $1,500. Maybe.
I just can't imagine. Those people have to be making, like I said, that booking company that took those dorm rooms. I think those dorm rooms at night were like $50 or $60 that the university charges. And then this booking company takes them. I was like, if you were the university and saw that, would you not learn from that?
Yeah, why wouldn't they just rent it out for more?
Well, that's what I'm saying, right?
It's not
like,
even
wait
a
minute.
logical.
No, it just like, listen, if they give us a room, we will tell them this information to help them make more money as long as they give us a room.
You'd think there'd be a
I will work.
policy or something there that doesn't
It
let
has to
them,
be a policy. It has to
you
be
know,
something.
but-
once you rent it, you wouldn't think you could rent it and then re-rent it though, because that it's like a sub rent
it's
of
weird.
a sub rent.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's
We
kind of
could
odd.
enroll for a summer program.
We could. Yes, we could.
We'll pay the tuition for whatever some summer
And we'll
class.
just drop
We'll have a
out the
dorm
next day. We'll just drop out Sunday night. I'm not coming to class. I'm done.
Tuition might be cheaper than the hotel rooms.
That's
You're not
actually
kidding.
true.
Mm.
I think we just figured out our fundraiser to go to the Grand Prix next year. We'll buy a block of dorm rooms.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Mr.
Buy 'em
Godfrey,
now.
you genius.
Book them now. I'm going to go up and rent my tent trailer.
How much are you going to rent your tent trailer for, Jay?
$1,500 a night.
$2,000 a night.
$1,500. And if you want heat, it's an extra $200.
Yeah. And
Jeremy sitting on the truck. Jeremy sitting on the truck with the propane tank. $200.
Yeah. Super secure. Comes with a lockable handle.
Oh, guys.
So, yeah.
Can I ask though, seriously, Tyson, why you hate camping so much? You've never actually come out and told us 100% why you hate it, because I know you never went as a kid.
Cameron, why do you like it?
We're waiting.
Well, it's relaxing once you get there, once you get set up, once you do all the prep of getting there and getting it there.
It is relaxing.
Rolling out of bed and sitting
not
on the couch.
crashing.
It is it is relaxing. That's why hotels have like spas full of mosquitoes, because people like to hear the sound of the buzz while they get bit.
Well, you go at the right time of year, bud. Like, there's not mosquitoes all the time. You know.
Oh,
sit by the fire, smoke yourself.
You got me there.
You just go somewhere that's really windy and blows them all away.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy, are you going to help me? Are you just gonna going to eat me alive like a mosquito?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we do it too. And I mean, it's like it's fun. It is anything but relaxing. Like, it's
sleeping in a trailer with no locks with people partying until 6 a.m. beside you.
I haven't had a lot of that.
I will take that every time. What I can't, what's is like, you know, if you don't book Friday off, it's like you get home from work, you had to do some of it Thursday, then you spend like, now it's already like 5. And then you're like, well, if we do this and this and this, we can get on the road by 5. We have 6. A 5-year-old, you know, so like trying to get all of that and like the food and the plan and the bring and the get, and we go to the grocery stores and forgot this and we need that and you need the other thing. And then you get there and you
really
get that
not
all.
Selling this, Jay.
I'm just saying. I'm saying everyone complains about the mosquitoes and the outside and all that. I have no problem with any of that. It's nothing compared to just getting there and then leaving. That is the part that that is not enjoyable to me. Like once like you said, so like I want to book it for like 3 days, because if I'm going to do all that work, I want to not.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm sold. I'm going to go out and spend thousands of dollars right now.
Sounds like the dream is to
get another hotel room at the Grand Prix.
Sounds like the dream is to rent the lot for the whole season and just leave the trailer there and avoid all that coming and going.
So So one of the reasons I really was excited to bring mine for this is because it was going to be way lower maintenance. You know what I mean?
Because there's 4 of us.
Like. Yeah, like, you know what I mean?
Just get food when we get there.
Just go buy something when you're there. It's a place to sleep. It's like super quick. Like the trailer itself goes up quick. Like, you know, that part's easy. It's just the all the stuff.
Lies.
Well, I mean, mine does, but I don't have like the.
I don't. A little longer to pitch.
Cameron's the joke.
Little. It is little extra crank.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Well, and the worst part is,
so does the tent trailer.
We've had, for me, it's things you don't expect. You know, like the trailer will go up, and then when you go to leave, the trailer won't come down. Or when you get there,
they say after 4 hours you should go see a doctor.
I remember when you went on this roll. That was like a long time ago.
That was a long time
It was just like 2 straight minutes of flawless innuendos. It was so great.
And he didn't mean to. He was just telling a story.
No, Yeah, that normally happens.
Anyways, you're doing a stellar job of selling this camping thing to me and Gary, boys. I'll tell you. Like you're doing it to yourself. Oh yeah, and then it won't come down, and then you got to get someone to help, and then the shaft broke off the thing, and I can't reach in to get it to crank down, and it's
had to take the back off.
apples hitting the roof all night long. Couldn't sleep a bit, and yeah,
Gotta go talk to people and ask for help. Oh.
Well, I got no problem with that.
yeah. But you got to understand, this was us asking you two what's good about it, and you've pitched into bashing it for the last 5 minutes.
You know what? I think this was a trap. I think I trapped myself into this one. Wow. I'd say it's hurtful, but you know.
Even last year, I finally got like in PEI. Well, that was the story you were talking about where they were partying next to us. The guy ended up bringing lobster to say he was sorry. Even that trip, like in the evening, beautiful evening, and like, you know, everyone had gone to bed, and I was just sitting outside, I had coffee. I'm like, man, this is nice. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, what's that sound? And then out from underneath the trailer comes this huge skunk. Just comes out from under it, walks through the chairs, like then just kind of saunters into the woods, and like I didn't move because I was like, I'm in the firing line right now. If that guy
from Cameron on that one,
You didn't stick your head in the seat?
No.
Where did he go?
Yeah. Funny enough, there was a doghouse, and I stuck my head in it, and there he was.
Yeah, I see a skunk. I do not move. I just like, let him go.
Yep.
Turns his back. He's dead. Anyway.
Wow.
Rage.
Again, getting more and more appealing. For sure.
You know what? And it's hard too, because like you do this stuff to yourself. Like you think like, you know, it'd be cool if I had this, and that would make it more fun, and this would make it more fun. And then like what you don't realize is like all you're doing is adding to your setup and teardown time. And then you're like,
Jeremy, I asked you to help. You're like helping Tyson win. Okay, you need to stop talking right now. All right, so it's not 100% ideal.
Oh,
but once you're set up, it's great.
Okay.
yeah, see? Now can we do it?
I do this weird when we go on a trip, we go to like a hotel, and they give you a key, you go up the elevator, you go into your room. The room's already set up. If you forgot snacks, there's some conveniently on the cupboard for you.
They turned the air conditioning on before you even got there.
So the room's nice and cool. Everyone jumps on the bed first to crash on this bed's pretty comfortable. Look to your right. What's that? A remote to a TV. And the air conditioner's on, and yeah.
You know what the advantage is, Cam?
What?
Well, because when there's a world-ending apocalypse, we'll be able to survive.
Yes.
As long as we have a 30-amp electrical outlet and a fresh water spigot nearby. Just those two small, simple things.
Yeah. And as long as that outlet doesn't get shut off.
I've never hooked the water up to my trailer ever.
No?
Never have.
You just drink water when you get back home, or?
No, you just take it with us, and it's in the fridge. I just leave it in the fridge, and just one's in the cooler, and then after when you take the stuff out of the fridge, you replace it with the one in the cooler. It's great.
Could explain the issues getting it up.
You're probably dehydrated.
We all haven't been camping. Well, 3 of us all together hadn't been camping since the time in Fredericton. So, Gary, you were living in your own home, so you were quite happy to do so, I think.
We can't unpack.
No. That was the last time we ever went.
I want to unpack it, but I don't. In 2024, we'll be canceled so quick.
Like, what could go wrong if we did it again? Seriously, we'll do it again. What could go wrong?
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Just defeated.
I will add a caveat to your. So Phil and Ange have a camper, right? Mm-hmm. And it's set up all summer long. And I probably go down there a dozen times in the summer. if not a little bit more. Dozens probably on the safe side. We drive down. I stay anywhere between 3 to 6 hours, right? Sometimes we bring the dog. Sometimes we don't. Like, I love barbecue. For some reason, barbecue is better at a campground or while you're camping. I'm not quite sure why barbecue is better, but it is. And then as dusk hits and it's nighttime and the kids are settling down and the mosquitoes just barely start to come out, it's like, well, see you later. And we get to go home and I crawl in my bed and hop in the shower that fits me. And
but the seasonal camping thing solves the big issue.
A
lot of your problems that you
Yes.
were saying. Yeah.
Yes.
Probably 90%.
Yeah.
It's called a cottage.
Well, Gary, Gary just took the words
property tax on that
out of my mouth. Don't get me going on property tax. Gary took the words out of. I got to tell you, property tax. This is funny, but Gary took the words out of my mouth that, like, I would love to, and I'm not. I don't know. I'll be 80 before this ever happens, or dead, right? But have like a little family cottage that people can just share, and you just go down and everything's set up, and it's. All I want is a view of the water. That's all I want.
I got a key to Dad's camp.
Yeah. So listen, the other night was Mom's birthday, and Josh and Jill planned some games for everybody. And Josh did this thing where he didn't tell anybody why, but it was ranked after that. Basically, if aliens were coming, bring one item that you would like to show the alien, right?
Okay.
So, like, Mikhail brought like a pen, and Maddox brought this weird trinket thing that looks kind of alien-y, that it looks like an hourglass on steroids that he got in Florida. And there was doggy bags, and there was an embosser, and the random things. So I told them when I got there, I said, wait till you see what Amanda brought. I'm actually jealous of thinking of this. Denver and Amanda. So when it was their turn, so what did you bring the aliens? Amanda reaches in her purse. Denver reaches in his pocket. Both of them brought their property tax bills. Slapped them on the table. Denver's like, this will scare them and send them home. But I just like, how did two people think of the same thing?
That is wild.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Especially if you have two places and it's doubled.
Yikes.
Yeah.
That's the only thing with cottage.
Yes.
And it's getting worse, not better yet.
Well, and Mom and them, I think because of where theirs is situated, I don't know how many guys would be willing to go out that road. And because you've all been out there, it just goes out and twist and then twist and then twist. It's kind of like, I'm heading to a field, and then there's just a random camp. So, sure.
Yeah, but it's nice.
There's you can pick your battles. You can there's something out there for whatever you want to do.
Oh, Mom and them also they have a hot tub at the camp.
Nice. Let's record episode 54 in the hot tub.
Why is Tyson smiling so creepily? Right beside the barbecue, Tyson.
Never wanted Cameron in a hot tub more than I've wanted it right now. Man, oh man.
All right, so Cameron, I've been looking at your glasses, and I can see the ring light in there. You know what the ring light looks like? It looks like a total solar eclipse.
Boys, oh boys.
Good segue, right?
Have you been on Facebook much this week?
No,
not really.
I updated my profile picture today, the first time since sometime last year.
I am scared because I'm scared people will know people who ask these things, but some of the questions people posted as statuses on Facebook about the eclipse. So then I started looking for some more. Okay, just so you know.
That's
so
a
Cameron,
rabbit hole, bud.
This is inspired by the first one I saw. It could be funnier. Somebody, Cameron, today. So me and Cameron are in Miramichi, and I know they posted the times that like at 4:34 it'll be.
Who are they playing?
We get to see it happen like 40 seconds before.
Yeah, that's true.
It's usually by the replay.
Did they score
it two?
twice?
Oh, or
Premature delay.
is it just going to keep happening? I hope it just keeps going off now.
It's never done that though. So, all right. Regardless. So Cameron, like here locally, it was like 4:34 will be total eclipse. You'll be able to take your glasses off. Blah 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 blah. So they were doing this big thing at the airport, but you had to it was quite full. So there's just no trees, flat surface, and other people will be there. And there was
Where do you think I work? Think about that.
I know. So some performers there. But Cameron, this is where I'm going with this. The status was: does anybody know what time the eclipse will be full in Newcastle? To which someone responds, well, they said in Miramichi 4:34. To which the one replies, yes, but that's at the airport. What time in Newcastle?
I believe that we need to get a sign to hand to the person.
Well, just Cameron, these people vote.
I love,
you know what I mean?
I love how the
Wow.
like the thought behind that is like, well, NASA coordinates this stuff. They coordinated this event. The least they could do is give us the times for each individual borough in my area.
Like if it wasn't at the same time, it would be 1 second later.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, it's available, and there it is.
What time is it in Newcastle? Well, obviously, if it's on the airbase at 4:34, so at 4:30, you should look up and stare at the sun.
So, Cam, that one wasn't even my favorite. Are you ready?
Oh, here we go.
And I quote something to the... Gosh, I'm going to get myself in trouble because I guarantee you people listening to this know these people who posted these things, but I'm just at the point of I don't care. Too funny. I know that the airbase is the best spot to see the eclipse, but does anyone know if I'll be able to see it from my porch? Someone responds with, well, can you see the sun? To which they replied and said, yes. The person who said, can you see the sun, replied with, so ...
Well, it depends what time of day it is because it comes up on one side.
Like if you're looking at the sun right now. Man. So then after these two, it inspired me looking for like, okay, what else have people asked on Facebook that aren't maybe I'm not or maybe right? And I did find 3 things from other people, strangers.
Yeah.
One, and I thought they were kidding, but they weren't. And basically someone responded with like, oh, honey, okay, was so if I'm wearing those special sunglasses during the eclipse, won't it look like the moon is wearing them too?
What?
Yes, soak that one in, fellas. I'll let you digest that one. I'll let you... Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even I don't even know if I could come up with that as a question.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Another classic. If my dog is outside during the eclipse, what if he thinks it's just one big game of fetch with the moon?
I thought the question was going to be, what if my dog looks at...
Mm-hmm. Is he going to go
Me
blind?
too.
That's actually, okay, yeah, sure. I'll take that. But
and there it is, yeah. Yeah, no, that big ball that just never drops coming from... That's your concern.
It'll just leap up and just try to... okay.
Mm-hmm.
I did see one that was, it wasn't really a question, but it was some page had posted a photo of it, like they all were today. And the photo, the only thing it says is Miramichi. So Miramichi, here's the eclipse. First comment, where's this? It's like,
It wasn't. I'm watching from Mirror Machine.
yeah.
Like I
This is just like,
these
man.
are people who I'm not kidding. I said to Amanda, like, oh my gosh, and they get like they vote. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like the thing is like, if like space questions, I just don't, like not everyone is into that or whatever.
Fair enough.
But that's not like
No,
that's not a real space.
Yeah, it's just
like what?
Just think about it. You can get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the worst part is you'd probably be sitting there going, and like you said, the ... You'd be like,
Yeah. So if you can see the sun, like, what do you think happens here?
Like, did they think?
Like suddenly the sun shifts like 1,000 miles to the left, real quickly, to catch up to the moon, and now, oh shoot, now it's behind that tree. Oh, drat! Like it's not.
Yeah, I'm seriously. I've just lost all.
I have to say too, like, it was like it's going to be actual darkness.
Yes.
And I was a little, I'm like, yeah, but like, is it really though? Or is it just
that's what I was thinking.
be a little bit
it's
darker?
It's going to be like a little, like it's going to be a little dim. Right?
Yeah. And the thing is I know there's photos of it. You can't tell this stuff from photos because, like, well, Tyson, you know this. Like, I mean, the phone's going to be trying to brighten up all of the pictures automatically and make it look like so. None of the pictures I've ever seen, it looks like
what I saw.
Like, yes, exactly.
No,
what I saw.
No justice to what you saw.
Yeah, like it's getting it's so here in Moncton we were on. It was 99.8% or whatever. But like we were technically in the path or whatever, and it's like getting dimmer, and you're looking at it. Oh, cool! Like it's there it is. It's going across, and like that's cool. And like even right up until the last small little sort of sliver of it, it's like
it's still bright.
It's still it looks weird when you look around. Like things look strange and stuff, but you're like, yeah, this is kind of what I expected. And then in that last bit. It literally went to nighttime in like 30 seconds.
The street lights fired on,
street
like
lights.
Stuff. Yeah.
So like I was, I had my hand up blocking because I wanted to see without like with the glasses off to look at the sky around it, and like on around the circle in the sky is like I can see all the stars, and I'm like. Wow, that's wild. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So like you said, it just literally became, it kind of reminded me of like, because it was,
like a thunderstorm kind of rolling in.
It felt like December 21st with like the way it gets dark at that time of day. Like it's almost dark when you get home.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So it's like you could see the dusk off. Like, well, that was the weird part is everywhere you looked like dusk. Which you know what I mean? Like it's weird to look at every angle and see it all around you. So, that was
when it got to the totality, I think I said it right. It, you can look at it. You have that span of 2 minutes that you can actually look up without the glasses.
Yeah.
When it's totally, and I was like, with the one thing going, oh, I can. Okay, look. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Because I didn't know. Like, I was kind of like, my luck would be like, look at that. That's awesome. Because it happened so fast.
Your big smoldering band across your face, your whole head.
Cameron logs into the podcast. He looks like Cyclops. This is permanently
Get his
bandages on.
His superpower now.
Well, listen, the superpower question was the only other one I saw on Facebook. Was a conspiracy theorist saying the government just doesn't want you to look directly at it because you'll probably gain some sort of powers they don't want you to have.
What? Oh, okay.
Again, they can vote. And in the States, buy a gun. So
my biggest thing was with conspiracy theorists with that is like, man, if I was a government employee, I would be honored that you give me this much credit.
yes,
That I have this much power and control over the weather, the earth, the universe.
Everything.
Yeah, like just.
Did you know I can control a bug a million miles away?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
just incredible. Jeremy said it on a podcast like dozens of episodes ago, but it was like any conspiracy that requires like 20,000 people to shut up about it and not leak it out. Yeah, it's not true.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Like we got family secrets that can't make it past your chatty aunt. You know what I mean? You think 20,000 people are gonna? Yeah.
I guess I'm a cynical person because like
what
I was I was talking to like while we were wait because we got there like the hour before it was supposed to start. Like we got there where we wanted to watch it like at the point that the moon just started the transition or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, it's kind of boring for the first bit, but
it's
anyway,
cool at first, but it gets old pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, I wasn't off till 4:30 from work, so I didn't see it until I like stepped out at 4:30
really?
turned around, and I'm like, oh, look, it's almost all there. It is. That's pretty neat. Then it just went black. I'm like, I took a video and all around because I wanted to see like, because
good thing, man. There's probably no video of it.
No pictures either.
Can I tell you? 10 people asked me today if I was bringing my camera home and was I going to take a picture of it. And I just had this moment of, think I'm just going to watch it with my kids because there will be 10,000 of them on Facebook by the time I walk back indoors. Yeah.
So when I went to work and I had to get the car, so Katie came picked me up, and as we're leaving, and this was at like 12:30. There were people lining up on the side of the road by where I work because there's two roads.
Yeah, because you're right there,
like where I am. Anyway, went to turn, and as we're going down the road, I turn and look to my right, and there were 3 guys, actually 4 guys. They were wearing Hawaiian shirts and had boxes on their heads. I saw them, and they were dancing around.
I saw them. They were walking downtown when I went home.
Okay, yeah. So I'm we're slowly waiting for traffic to go. I look over, and this guy's like, I'm like, what?
And you were like, Blue Meanie?
But it reminded me of Blue Meanie. The guy really was. He was like getting right into it, and he had this like cardboard. He had like this cardboard box in his head. I was like,
can I tell you though? Like, we watched the Japanese Grand Prix this past weekend, and
live.
I was talking to Mikhail. And we were kind of laughing, like the camera's panning the crowd. And some of the Japanese fans, like they're not just into it, like they're into it. You know what I mean? Like they are.
They are.
And I got like, we're laughing. And then part of me is like, no, I'm half jealous that we're all so reserved. Mm-hmm. Mostly because we'd be scared to they're having the best time. And I know I'm going to go to this race. Like you look at them at the race and they got like an F1 car helmet on. And the camera pans by and they're literally going. You know what I mean? And when the camera pans by me at our race, I'm going to go.
So true. I know.
You know what I mean? And you might totally give the camera one of these. Like we're just going to be like, oh.
Like even if you get on
years ago,
in
the Canadian Grand Prix, there used to be a team called Super Guri, and they were this like
talk about them all the time.
All the time.
They have come up an abnormal amount of times.
Yeah,
on this podcast.
There were 2 fans in the crowd. They had like the big, huge, like Chinese, like Japanese, like huge, whatever their hats, those big dome. I don't know.
Raiden. Raiden.
That one.
Mortal Kombat.
What he wears. That one.
And like the crowd was like cheering and going on, but there were just these 2 random guys in the middle of the stand, and the camera just panned to them and stuck to them, and they're both like, yeah. They're like dancing and the whole crowd behind them, like,
Yeah.
But I mean, man, like they're having, I guess the older I get, like it's still not me, but I don't know. They're having like, they're having a good time.
I always
look like
thought
they're
that
having
like
a great time.
game, like a hockey game. Some guy will take his shirt off and start dancing. I'm like, I cannot be that
No,
man.
and I'm
I was
looking
gonna
like, that guy's crazy, but he's having a blast.
If you're
Yeah.
over Christmas, the Spangler Cup is always on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the one, it's a European
Yeah, the invite.
international tournament, but it's, and like the crowd the whole time is cheering nonstop.
Oh, they don't. Oh, it doesn't lay off.
It's like a party. It seems like a great time to go watch a hockey game. It's like,
I'll tell you. So the other night, by the time this comes out, but Toronto, the Maple Leafs were just in Buffalo. That was the loudest crowd at a Leafs game I've heard this year, and they were the visiting team, right? Matthews hit 60, but Cameron, what happens is in Toronto, the seats are so expensive, and all these companies bought up just blocks of seats to give to like big feeling clients coming in. Like you look behind the Leafs bench even tonight, and there's guys sitting there with suits, and they're not even eating anything, and they're on their phone and all this stuff. And then in Buffalo, the seats were cheaper. And I'm telling you, all these fans who normally can't get to a Leafs game because they're always sold out and can't afford them, drove across the border, went to Buffalo, packed Go Leafs Go chants, and Sammy chants, and Pappy chants in Buffalo. Because like,
when they
the fans that can't afford to go got to go. And it was the loudest crowd all year.
Well, look at years ago, whenever it wasn't it the Lightning versus... Was it Toronto?
Yeah,
or
we
Montreal?
don't talk about the Lightning.
Anyway, the Canadians, it was cheaper for them to fly to Tampa
to go watch the game,
get a ticket to watch a playoff game than it would have been to buy a ticket at home, and people were still coming out ahead. Like that's crazy.
That Sabres thing is just so funny because like imagine you're an actual you're a Sabres fan.
Oh man,
you feel like you're being
how
invaded.
Enraged you'd be, and
other than getting final say of what line you had out, there was no home advantage to them whatsoever. Yeah.
No.
I assume that's one of those things. If you live around the area, as soon as kind of like what we did, as soon as the schedule's announced for the following year,
they bought up those tickets.
It's like the Sabres Leafs game in Buffalo, the tickets are just gone immediately.
Well, it'd be like Ottawa, right? Anybody who had they would want to get a game. Like Katie's cousin Sean loves the Penguins, and he was never getting to Pittsburgh, but he went to Ottawa to watch them stomp Ottawa like 5 or 6 years ago. But he said, I still got to see my team.
Yeah.
And way cheaper than if I had tried to go to Pittsburgh.
And I mean, it'd be nice to go to Pittsburgh, but I'm not going to get to go to Pittsburgh. So I want to see
Yeah, it's like me in Boston. I'm probably never going to ever get to go to Boston to watch a game ever. But I might have a chance to see them play in Ottawa, maybe, or Montreal, but that would be an impossible ticket to get.
No, I could be surprised.
What I mean?
There's season ticket holders.
Boston ain't that far either, is it?
No,
Boston is 8-hour drive from here.
For Miramichi, it's about the same distance to where we're going. Montreal. From Miramichi, it's almost the same distance.
8 hours, right, Jay? It's about
8 or 9, whatever.
When Dad and I drove down with Mom and my grandfather, it took us 10 or 11.
Yeah,
but Dad coming home, it took 8.
Yep.
Oh, boys.
Yeah.
Do we got time for a little?
You talking about you wanted to
parking lot?
You wanted to drive to Florida one time for a pay-per-view. We can drive to Florida in 24 hours.
No, you need about 36.
You know what you need to help with that? Tent trailer. My brother-in-law makes fun of me all the time because I've been ever since we bought the thing, I've been trying to find excuses to bring it to something.
I bet you are.
He has to justify the purchase.
Yep.
Jeremy pulls it into the church parking lot and goes, well, there's another service tonight, so I just
gotta make a meal and have a stay.
Do you know a great camping destination? Montreal.
Yeah.
Back full.
National treasure for camping. Montreal.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I don't know. The one in Mahone Bay is very, very nice. Jay, I'm just saying. It has a little river behind it, but you have a 5-year-old, so it may not be ideal for you.
Because of the 5-year-old, the most fun we've ever had camping is when we went to Stonehurst, which is about
10 minutes down the road.
about 10 minutes this way.
You'd be lucky if it was 10.
Supporting old friends because it's Whitney Jardine and well, not Jardine anymore, but her and her husband own and run it. So
Really?
goes, yeah.
Why
Yeah.
didn't I know
Yeah.
that?
Oh.
Yep.
Even I know that.
Actually, yeah, the Ford and Lynn are usually there. They're usually there whenever, anytime we've gone, they're usually around.
Wow.
My cousins used to always be there. Steve and Kath used to always
Yeah,
be there.
they'll go down and hang out with them too. And
Well, I'm sorry I didn't know. Okay?
see, big mistake that you're not camping.
Wow. Now we got him riled. He's wearing his Red Bull stuff. All unhappy.
All right, boys,
The staff
we got
wins again.
yeah, we got a few minutes. Okay, so I got a vent about this. We'll save it to the
Go
end
ahead.
because people can tune out because they don't care about it.
Okay.
So I watched the first night
Yeah.
of WrestleMania.
Yeah, you did.
I still have not.
I did. Oh, you didn't? Well, there goes that segment.
Aren't you a wrestling
Bye,
fan?
everybody. I thought everyone would have known what happened by now.
I know what happened.
Oh, you do?
Well, of course. I read the dirt
Well,
sheets.
Watch
here's-
it?
He knew what was going to happen before it happened.
That's right.
Why didn't you watch it?
I don't have the WWE network, and I wasn't going to pay for it. Those are two legitimate reasons.
Can't you find it from other sources? I don't know what ones, but
Back in the day, you used to go across the river and watch it with me. Do you remember that? Remember those days?
Wow, that
those
feels like
days?
a guilt trip.
I remember those days. That was back, what, WrestleMania 21? When was?
I still have the Sportsnet subscription to get the NHL, and it just
Yes, it
shows
does.
up.
I'm going to switch to that.
Really?
That is too good of a deal.
yeah, that's what I have.
Get
too.
the hockey games, get the Blue Jays games, UFC, WWE. Oh, yeah.
But the,
Well, I'm just waiting for it to go to
I
Netflix.
have
the only
center
way
ice.
I justify it if we don't have cable.
The second the Leafs are out, Gary, let's be real. Say like so mid-May. Gosh, I'm done with cable. I'm officially done. I'm just done. I'm done. Everything else I can get streaming. And I even priced it out. If I buy the premium F1 package, I'm still saving hundreds of dollars on the year by canceling cable, even by buying the
Wow.
premium package.
Those are
I
the
get-
two. I get Sportsnet Plus and I get F1 TV Pro, and it's like not even like.
And there's all the
it's-
stuff you need.
Yep.
For me, I have Rogers Internet fiber op, so it was all the fire sticker, the fire bundle thing there. So, yeah, I like too many different kinds of racing, unfortunately for me. So, yeah,
Okay, so Jeremy, what's your event there, bud? You go ahead here, pal.
I sort of spoke.
Let's go.
Well, here's the deal.
Now that we've calmed you down.
We're talking wrestling here, right?
I was raging.
I'm getting ready.
oh, here he goes. Mean Gene's got the mic.
Well, I was gonna say I could talk about this without spoiling.
Go
What are you,
ahead.
Pat McAfee or what?
Ready for a pipe bomb?
He looks like he looks like Mitchell Cole.
Yeah,
You
so
remind us of Pettingill.
Take that back.
yeah, so Michael Cole is still announcing. I was like, hey, I know that guy.
Mhm.
He's still doing it.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm, mhm.
But yeah, so in general, right? Like some great matches. Honestly, I did enjoy them. I was kind of into them. I was like, okay, cool. But it was like, but like at one point there's a tag match, and it's like they both get the guy. I even forget the names already. They both do like a double pedigree, and Michael Cole is like pedigree, and I'm like, oh, I guess I guess they win. I mean, I don't know why. Was that some sort of tribute?
Okay, yes, it was, because that wasn't their finisher.
Yeah,
so
but
I know what match you're talking about. Seth, for a little while, they banned his finisher. He wasn't allowed to use it. So as a dig, he started using Triple H's finisher.
Pedigree, because he wasn't allowed to.
Okay.
Right. So kind of like, if you're not going to let me use mine, I'm going to use yours, was the dig. So that was like a throwback to those two guys used to have issues with Triple H. So they kind of used as a dig his finisher.
Well,
his finisher.
And it's funny because CM Punk used to do a pedigree too, but when he went to the WWE, he wasn't allowed to use it because only Hunter was allowed to use the pedigree.
So are they still called finishers?
Yes, but if you use somebody else's, it's not like you use your own.
Yeah. It's not as powerful.
You know what I mean, Jay? Like if my finisher is a super
the match
kick,
went on for like another 20 minutes.
So Jay, if my finisher is a Shining Wizard, as a dig, you could give me my finisher, the Shining Wizard, but I'm going to kick out because you delivered my finisher, and the way you deliver it's not as good as when I deliver it. That's my finisher. So you can do it as
it's like a level, right? It's like your level, your finisher is 100%, and if you use my finisher, it's like a 70% effective for whatever reason.
Well, they should change the name to the They should change the name to the 70%er because it's not a finisher. It is,
but you
it's
know,
not finished.
The announcers didn't call it a finisher.
Well, they called it the pedigree.
Well, yeah, every noon, you know, I mean, Hurricane.
That's the finisher.
Body slam. No, that's Triple H's finisher. Anybody else, that's just a move, and that's the name of the move. It's a pedigree.
Well, they did the double.
Yeah, it's like a clothesline. Clothesline's a clothesline.
Leg drop.
Yeah.
There you go, Gary.
I just Triple H used to do the pedigree, and if he got it, that was it.
It was over.
It was over.
So then the match goes on. So so Roman Reigns, what's his finisher? What's it called?
Spear.
The spear. So that's his finisher. That's his finisher.
He does, or the Superman punch, or the guillotine choke.
Okay, so
people have kicked out of the Superman punch.
Yes.
So the spear, right? He leans back. Ooh, ha! Does the whole crowd does it with him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I saw 3 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
At spaced out different times.
Yes. So
I saw, what was the other one you said? I know.
So Jay, you haven't watched in probably 10 years? So
there's a people's elbow. I think people's elbows were still happening. I think.
Well, it did last night. So
20 years ago.
It did, yeah. Yeah, the irony is you tune back in and it's another people's elbow.
It was on Saturday night.
So some guys have, so let's say Roman Reigns spears like a mid-card guy who maybe shouldn't be in the ring with Roman Reigns.
He's done.
Makes sense?
Toast. Yeah.
He's done. He's not kicking out of that.
Yep.
If Roman spears a Cody or a Seth or an Undertaker or a Rock, or insert a couple other names here that are former world champions or they're up there, the spear's not going to get it done. He either needs like a spear and a Superman punch and another spear, or a couple spears in succession, or because they are going to, and even like, so Cameron, you didn't, am I spoiling stuff here? That's fine. Okay.
No, I know.
When Cody did his finisher last night or the other night, whatever this comes out. Yeah. He did 3 of them before he ever even now on Raw last week, he wrestled a mid-carder as a warm-up. He did 1 and the match was over, but he's wrestling Roman. He didn't even try to pin him after 1. He did 1, then didn't let go, picked him up and did another, then didn't let go, picked him up and did another, and then went for the pin. But on anybody else,
stamina bar.
But to be fair,
the stamina bar.
Yeah, but to be fair, Jay, when you used to watch, and the people are going to hate this segment, you know that. But when you used to watch, you're not wrong. It was one and done. Like if Austin hit the stunner, or if Randy hit the RKO, or if Triple H hit the pedigree, it was over.
But may I bring this up?
No.
As a person who is a history, thanks. As a person that's a wrestling, like I love history and the old wrestling
aficionado.
There used to be wrestlers who would pull out one move every couple of years. It was like the ultimate finisher. Like, for example, the Tiger Driver 91.
Yes.
This was a move, Jeremy. If you want to YouTube a crazy move, you look at the Tiger Driver 91.
I don't even know who did it.
The most Masada did it. He was part of New Japan. He left, All Japan. He left and started Pro Wrestling Noah. It was another division, and they were trying to make it that. But when he wanted to finish a match, like finish like a feud, he would do this one move, and I think they said he's only did the move 10 or 11 times in his whole existence of wrestling. Like, he only pulled it out when it was like his big finisher didn't pin him and he beat on the guy and he tried, but then he'd pull this move out and it was like over. So I get what you're talking about. They would build and like kick out. But back then, Masada would just, he drops you on your head. It looks like a pedigree. He inverts you in the air and then drops you onto your head straight down. Like,
he did that in Japan.
Yes, and
the crowd must have went nuts dancing. Their big funny hats on.
The funny part is it's been done. It has been done in the US now, and it was done by Will Ospreay to Kenny Omega, but he only did it.
No
once,
Tyler Driver 98, but
no, it's no Tyler Driver, but. Everybody knows what I mean. But there are guys that have that one super move, like the Undertaker.
Yep.
The Undertaker does the last ride in later years, but that was like he would do all of his moves, but to finish a guy, he'd do the last ride, and then it'd be. But
if he hauled out the last ride, it was like, oh, he's throwing back to that. He just doesn't do it as often. Yeah.
Right. So there are those moves that you bring out just to finish a person, and then you're a finisher, which, like Tyson said, now it's like I could hit a guy with 28 stunners and he's just going to keep.
So Jay,
back.
what your complaint was, and you wouldn't be wrong if you were just tuning back in, you would not see that on Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
Or in a main event, if it was a tight one and they're really teasing the crowd and they want to give the crowd a holy crap moment, they shock you with, holy crap, he kicked out of, like Roman speared him and he kicked out. But he's not kicking out a second time. Do you know what I mean?
They're trying to give you a holy crap moment every 30 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Just exactly about to say it. So you're saying the problem is the one time I decided to watch WrestleMania, the biggest like holy crap bunch of holy craps, was the wrong one to tune into to get a sense of the state of wrestling.
But I mean,
pretty much.
That said, like in the tag match, I'm gonna disagree with you in that's not their finisher, so that's not a finisher. That was they did those matching moves to get a cheap pop from the crowd. That, oh man, they did Triple H's finisher. You know what I mean? But like we pretend that they can't do it like Triple H. That's why they got
fair enough. Fair enough. If that's a story,
could at least
watch it. Like
they
Sean
could at least have their
kick.
partner break up the pin rather than kicking out.
Yeah, but that's not their finisher. It's, you know what I mean?
No.
So like, no, they can kick out of that. Like it didn't finish them off because it's not their finisher.
But they react like, I can't believe it didn't work.
I know. Well,
I'm so shocked. That was supposed to be the end.
That's 23 years of Michael Cole is what that is.
But
unfortunately,
the way the wrestlers reacted, it was like, to me, it was like they thought, "Oh yeah, we got this. We just did the finish." Yeah,
but man,
so fair enough. If you're saying that's like a story thing where they're throwing a, okay, sure. But yeah, it was to Gary's point. What it ended up being was like the matches were all. I found them to be all drawn out quite long. And again, I understand I'm not familiar with the story, so to me, there's not the build up and all that. I get it. But I was like,
the attention span of a monkey.
Yeah, fair enough. And like the Rock, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, the other guy, that match. I'm like, okay, now they're in the crowd. They're a bunch of
a lot of those things break
the Rock does a sharpshooter.
He's always done a sharpshooter.
Maybe I just don't remember.
That was his.
He always did the sharpshooter?
That was his one submission move. Was a sharpshooter.
Yep.
I don't. Okay, well,
A really
fair enough. Okay, I don't-
haggard-looking sharpshooter, but it was a sharpshooter.
Oh yeah,
Right.
it's not good. He'd stop his feet before he'd slam it on.
So they were
No,
saying
bud.
that the guy, whatever his name was, he had like knee issues. So it was
Seth,
like,
yeah.
yeah. So like, yeah, right. So he does it. So he gets a sharpshooter done to him. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, they're working on the knee, no problem. But yeah, it was just
But
like
wrestling.
that match was just nonstop holy crap moments to the point that it just like watered them all down. And then I'm like, well, I don't even know when this match is going to end because unless they kill each other, there's nothing that's going to make me go, holy crap.
So I
I'm
think...
kind of,
You can blame the Hardys
So
for
what
that.
you two didn't do, though, oh my gosh, I cannot believe we're going overtime on this because people are going to hate this. But
that's why it's at the end.
But yeah, people can tune in if they want.
Correct.
But what you two didn't do, though, if you had never, I can't believe I'm sticking up for this because if this was like 3 years ago, I'd actually agree with you. But Cameron, I know what I'm talking about. That is the longest storyline they've had going in years. This is a 2-year-old storyline. And then Roman's cousin, The Rock, and they're really cousins, comes in now. And not only is he getting involved, but he's literally on the board of the company. Like he is technically on paper everybody's boss. Like he has a say.
He is.
So was that supposed to spill in the crowd? No. But at one point, the ref starts to count. And The Rock points at him and says, if you count this out, you're fired.
I saw that. I'm like, okay,
and that explains the going into the crowd and the no count out and what, and the ref doesn't know. That's more storyline. The ref has no idea what to do.
No problem. I had no problem with that.
It was bloodline rules. So
like it turned into, and the whole point was, in order for them to do the crazy finish Sunday night, they had to write it off Saturday night, and that was The Rock. It was actually very cleverly written. That was The Rock. Like, if you call this, you're fired. If you call that a DQ, you're fired. If you go, like, it was rigged. It was rigged.
I actually didn't end up seeing the second night, but I kind of thought, like, they're not gonna,
How long has it been? 2 nights.
Yeah, I don't know.
They've only done it.
You know whose fault that is?
From the get-go.
Yeah.
You know that's New Japan's fault because they used to do Wrestle Kingdom one night, then they did it 2 nights, and then Vince did it the very next year. They did it 2 nights. Yeah, I don't know.
My
why,
brother-in-law invites me over. I'm like, so when is it? He's like, I start today. And I'm like, oh, well, how long are they now? He's like, it's like 4 hours. And it's like, oh, okay, sure, makes sense. And he's like, and that's just night 1. And I was like,
yes. Now, a few years ago, Cameron's watched them all like me, but a few years ago, there was and it wasn't bad, but you were tired. There was one that was like, it turned out to be like 6 hours, and it ended at 1 in the morning, and it was a Sunday night, and then everyone gets up Monday. Like
I remember that.
But now it's like 2 4-hour ones. You know what I mean? And like,
but I think though, like you said, they saw Japan do that and it worked for them then. And they're like, oh, look at them. They can get 2 nights in. Like, that's a great idea. But think about the tickets. You're not selling 1 night. You're selling 2 nights.
Yes.
And Wrestle Kingdom is Japan's version of WrestleMania. So they were like, we're going to make all this crazy amount of money.
Right.
But then, like you said, the crowd got so tired. And they're like, why would I pick the first night when the better matches are on the second night? You know what I mean? Like, they couldn't.
But now for WWE, they sell a package deal, right? So I've got the same seats for both nights. And I was at SmackDown Friday, saw the Hall of Fame. Saturday night, I'm at WrestleMania. Sunday night, I'm at WrestleMania. And Monday night, I'm at Raw. And Tuesday, I'm flying home. Like, they got to see a show every single night for 4 nights.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that is what. But you probably paid what? Yourself? $12,000?
Well, with travel and hotels, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime deal. Well, if you were splitting a hotel with somebody, it would help, but the ticket prices would be.
If they don't, Verbo doesn't cancel you.
Get an email from Cozy Stay.
Anyway, for what it's worth, I have watched every WrestleMania and have never missed one since I was about 8 years old, and I think this might have been my favorite one ever.
Oh, I gotta watch them now. I watched them, but I watched them later, obviously. But
Cameron, I gotta find a way to get you at night 2 because that was like.
I already have it.
Go.
We said you're gonna talk about it, so I was like, oh, I should watch a little bit of it before we record, and I hit play, and it was like 0 minutes of 7 hours, 14 minutes.
Gary's like, well,
Just
I'm going to
night
need about a
two.
week, boys.
I was
watch a few minutes.
so, but Cameron knows what I'm like with these things, and I'm into story, and I just want to know. I rewatched like half it today, and I already watched it and knew what.
Yeah, you have to go back because you missed stuff, right?
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, I can't believe it. It was ridiculous. How could you want to? Because I don't have the context, so I understood that the ref thing with The Rock. I was like, I feel like that's gonna tie into something that is going to filter into tomorrow, because I understand they have to, balance the two. I get it. And I watched the one night, and it felt like a good pay-per-view. Like, you know what I mean? Like they didn't. I didn't feel like, oh yeah, well they didn't do anything on this one because they're doing everything tomorrow. Like that was all good. So I understood the writing and the way that was written and all that. But and I will say too, one last thing that is the old guy. They do like those reality show sort of interviews, and the wrestlers who are all just in matches are seemingly talking like normal people, and they're just like, yeah, I remember watching WrestleMania as a kid, and man, it was great, and this guy, and I was a big fan of that guy, and I'm like, aren't you supposed to be like super angry dude, mad about the whole?
They break kayfabe pretty regularly now.
So I wasn't a fan of that. I will end on a positive though. The way they do the build up to the matches. So like I haven't watched this in years. So that whole build up they did with the bloodline thing.
The recap. They do a recap and the vignettes.
Yeah. And now they've always done them. I remember seeing that stuff before. But like that was so well done. Like I actually, having zero information about it, I felt like I got the match.
You were informed.
You know what I mean? Like I was like, okay, I understand why this is so like important, and they really brought along the whole the Rikishi thing with the family and like the tag team, and then they split up, and they really did a really good job explaining that, so I could watch this match and sort of understand exactly where they were sort of coming from, even though I haven't seen anything. That part
is Haku in that family?
Oh, he was there.
Yeah, I don't know,
but he's in it. Oh, he is.
On the flip side, when it's a 7-hour video and you're just skipping through trying to find matches, you just keep landing on recaps and interviews and talking. And it was like the 10th time I stopped before I got to a match.
Yeah, and it was that Cody Rhodes Rock Roman Reigns match. I'm like, okay, I get it. There's a lot of build up to this, but they stood there and stared at each other for so long, and I was just like, okay,
yes, but like I don't know how to.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably not.
No,
I'm not. I shouldn't even be probably
if you
commenting.
Just tuned in, so like I got a couple things, and then I'll leave because I'm even watching our time here. But the reason why, but hear me out. The reason why, I'll throw you for a loop. But the reason why soap operas are actually slowly dying is because nobody new watches soap operas. Mm-hmm. There's lots of older women who have been watching some of these soap operas for 30 years of their life. But if 50. I tune into one tomorrow at a complete boredom, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. I don't know who. Oh, they said this thing for a big gasp, and I don't know what that means. But apparently 5 years ago, she knew him, and they, blah, blah, and I don't know this.
For sure.
I'm not privy to this information.
Yeah.
So like even the stare down, the Rock and Cody, Roman and Cody, like Roman used to partner with Seth, and they haven't partnered in years, and Cody and The Rock, and then Roman and The Rock are, and like there was this 4-way dynamic in there of unlikely partners, if that makes any sense. And they built that thing up. Like the Rock Roman thing was rumored for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And then it was supposed to be the main event of SmackDown. It was supposed to be Rock versus Roman, And when people found out it wasn't Cody, they lost their ever-loving minds. Like they were hijacking the show. Mad. There was signs everywhere. We Want Cody was trending for 4 days on Twitter and didn't let up. And so like even the stare down of, oh, wow, they're finally in the ring together. Like this is happening. That's the stare down. And the crowd just kind of built of like, so are they going to lock up? Like, this is like they're finally going to touch here. Like, it's finally going to happen. Like,
So they
get
did that match because the fans wanted it, not to switch from some bad publicity to some more positive
I
publicity.
honestly think they actually bent.
So Gary, I think the original bringing The Rock in was to switch from bad publicity. And then Cody wins the Rumble, but this dream match rumored for years was, well, if Roman beats Rock, that'll really put him over as kind of tribal chief. Like he beat, like the greatest Samoan ever was The Rock. And so if Roman beats him too, then that's really cemented him. And then the second they even teased that it was being announced, which they spun beautifully at a press conference, by the way, like their most tuned in press conference ever, was that Cody came out and said, no, I won the Rumble. I have a choice and I want Roman. And then it turned into this whole like side storyline of did you really just mess up this multi-million-dollar main event we could have had Sunday night? Like, like that's what it turned into. But it was all because like the crowd's going to riot on us if we don't let Cody. They built this for 2 years and now The Rock is going to, but I think that was the distraction, Gary, that they needed to get him away from, because everybody was on the Vince McMahon thing. We're allowed to say it on our show.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah,
I'm a pretty like open-minded person to like, okay, I'm not just going to say this sucks, it's trash. Cause like, I understand my lack of any prior anything other than recognizing the people's elbow. So I will say the R-Truth reaching for the tag in that 3 event that was so funny.
So you've missed 1 full year of R-Truth being back with, he came out during the women's Rumble and thought it was the men's. And they're trying to call him out of like R-Truth, like you're in the wrong Rumble, man. Like this isn't your Rumble. Like this is not. And then he still slides in and then he kind of looks around like, what's all these women doing in here? And then one of the women throws him out. And then, so lately, there's a team, Jay, called D.I.Y. Like it's Johnny Gargano, who's obsessed with Shawn Michaels. He just loves, you can tell the way he wrestles. And there's Gargano, and there's Ciampa, his partner, who has the big beard like Triple H used to. And now he doesn't think they're D.I.Y. He thinks they're DX.
Yes.
And he so they even kind of dressed like it when they came out. You would have saw that. Yeah. But even the other night, Jay, he's talking through the door and he's like, man, you could really be something someday. I see a lot of Shawn Michaels in you, and the camera turns and it is Shawn Michaels. And he's like, what? What are you talking about? Like, it's just the
DX thing I got too. And that was funny. But yeah, I kind of wish I see, because I enjoyed that. Like he's reaching for the tag. It's like a
hot tag during a tagless match. Yeah, there's no tag.
Yeah. What was the other? Oh, he's going for the pins and he's doing the one.
It wasn't even that long ago.
And it's a ladder match.
He brought a ladder match. In one of those ladder matches, he's supposedly scared of heights. So he walked in and he opens up this mini, like this like 3 ladder one. He opens and puts it on and he starts trying to climb it. It's only like 3 steps and he's shaking it.
And he's nowhere near the belt.
And then he gets off and looks up and he just kicks the ladder out and starts beating on somebody.
I tuned into Raw one week and it was when he was thought he was part of Judgment Day, and they
for
didn't
several
want him
weeks
or something. But then he made like this sentimental video recap thing of how in love they all are.
They put up with him for a couple weeks. So there's a couple things. But Jay, they put up with him for a couple weeks because he was selling bootleg shirts that he had taped his name on the bottom. So it was like all the members of Judgment Day and R-Truth taped on. And then he started giving them their cut and they were like, oh, well, okay, the money. But then my favorite with Judgment Day is like there's Dominic Mysterio, right? Dominic Mysterio. Yeah. And so he gives Dom his cut of money and goes, and Dom, if you could get Nick his cut, I can't even find that guy on Facebook anywhere, man. I don't know where to give him the money. And he was like, who are you talking about? He's like, Dom's brother Nick. Dom and Nick Mysterio. And then, so Cameron, remember this? Even they were getting ready for Elimination Chamber, And you know how they do the stereotypical promo where like one member comes out and interrupts the guy giving the promo, and now someone else's music hits, and now there's 5 guys in the ring, all faced because we're going to be an elimination chamber. R-Truth's music hits. He comes out, gets the crowd going and everything, and he starts cutting a promo on all of them. And there's the GM, Adam Pearce, going like, Truth, like, I'm sorry, but you're not in the elimination chamber, man. And he kind of Jay awkward, like he's got the mic. He's like, oh, well, my bad, fellas, my bad. This one's on me. This one's on me.
And then he
just kind of walks away like, it's my bad. That's my bad.
I think I could get behind that. He only had a couple of those, and I laughed. It was so funny.
He's so funny.
Wait, that means the tag team's the awesome.
Yeah, that man's a like he's just.
And I will say, like, for an old school guy, man, they know how to like cater too, because like Rey Mysterio's there. I mean, like The Rock comes back, and you're going. It's like, man, I'm going to see like a rock bottom and a people's elbow today. Like, what year is
so
this?
Cameron, do you know what happened Sunday night? So you know what happened. So I'm not spoiling anything.
No, I
so
know
Jay, if you had watched night 2, it wasn't just The Rock.
So
no, it was not.
I saw the clip of it because
which clip?
So Cena.
There was more than one.
Oh,
John Cena.
That one I saw that one.
Undertaker. Shield.
Cena showed up.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like John Cena is not.
No,
he's sort of like
he was at after Attitude Era, kind of like the new.
I mean, like he was coming around like when I was still watching and stuff, and that was kind of my like I don't care about.
Oh, but man, but it's so. It has never been bigger and more profitable than it is right now. Like it's really taken off again.
Well, you can like the production for sure. I will say I wish I was watching live when the big gong and the lights go out. And like even when like you I just saw it like on Twitter or whatever, but like the crowd goes like
nobody dreamt that one.
Like
nobody dreamt that one.
And it's just that gong is so iconic, right? It just like you get like I'm just watching a clip and I'm like, oh man, and the lights come up and he's standing in the ring. I mean, he looks quite old now, but still, it was like it doesn't even matter, you know. And then like it disappears again and he's gone. It's just like that's cool, like you know.
Man.
But I'm really just the old guy who's excited about the old stuff.
That's all it is. But it's even this.
Yeah, you're not as bad as I am. I started watching like the WrestleManias all over, and in between the WrestleManias, I'm watching like old matches from like Tiger Mask and Dynamite Kid from the 80s. It's kind of like. Yeah, no. Like, then I'm watching AEW. It's like,
I do not claim to be, you win, like, you know.
No, it's not that. It's just I watch everything, right? It's like you see old stuff, and then you're like, you know what? I just saw that last week, and then you kind of go back, and you're like, that guy did that same move. That's crazy.
I will say 40 years there ago. Was some there was several moves. Like I didn't even know what they were called, but I was like, man, okay, so like. There's some nice, like cool stuff. You know,
it's evolved. Yeah.
Oh, we're over time. Doesn't matter. Everyone's tuned out. It doesn't care. But like this Gunther. So the Gunther, Billy Zane,
Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn. Sorry.
El Generico.
Billy Zane was
Central Perk.
An actor in Titanic.
An actor.
No, that's who I mean there. Yeah. But again, I was like, this is a long built up, you know, I don't have the emotional investment. I'm just looking at it from a raw, like match point of view. That one was the most old school. There were a lot of like stuff I expected.
That would be Gunther, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The ring general.
But like they build him up. It's like, oh, Gunther, he's so good. He's been the Intercontinental Champion for like 600 days or whatever it was. And then I'm watching him do those splashes at the end. And I'm like, his feet are hitting the ground first. Like he doesn't even do it good. Like he's like half landing on his feet and then falling on him. I'm like, this is the big like
his best. If you want to see him at Clash at the Castle, Gunther versus Sheamus.
So they were referring
to the craziest. You wondered if they were really mad at each other. Like, okay, guys, like someone should probably. This is getting.
So yeah, okay. So in my opinion, that match wasn't good. What was your opinion as someone who knows what happened, like the whole backstory? Like, was it a good match or not? Like, I didn't think it particularly.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I thought it didn't meet the expectation that was there for a Sammy Gunther match, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
With Gunther, you want to see the ultimate match when his name was Walter. It was PWG versus Will Ospreay in about 2004. It was just a highlight reel.
Just amazing.
It was March 13th, 2004.
Walter PPK.
Sounds about, yeah, works.
I was going to go him versus Pete Dunne at NXT TakeOver was going to be my. That was.
I did like the whole Gunther. Like he's like a, an intimidating, scary looking dude. It's very like I said to my brother-in-law, I'm like, this guy is kind of like William Regal vibe. You know what I mean? Like, he has that same sort of like, it's fun.
European style,
yeah,
right?
just super easy guy to hate and all that. Like, but
Agreed.
Yeah, that was my only other thing was like that match was kind of like, but yeah. Yeah.
Which is funny because
my review.
Yeah. But that was the one I thought had the potential to steal the show and it didn't. You know what I mean? Like it really didn't. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway.
I'm still picturing Cameron watching all these 80s videos and then waking up the next morning.
Yeah.
Being like, why do I want a clapper and a Camel cigarette?
Clap on. Clap on. A clapper.
Wow. Well, boys, we're at about an hour and a half.
We should clap off this. Yeah, we should clap off this podcast.
Everyone tuned out 30 minutes ago.
Yeah. We'll just clap off.
When Jeremy said, and about that WrestleMania, everyone was like, all right, what else is on my list?
Well,
here?
we warned them.
Yeah.
It'd actually be funny if you inserted a warning there. The next 30 minutes is actually.
Yeah. Please.
That'd be funny.
May contain
We're
wrestling.
asking you to tune out.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
already downloaded it.
All right, lads.
Good work, boys.
Solid hustle out there.
Jerky in a box.
Jerky in a box.
Promo code The Bush League Podcast.
Get 15% off your order. Jerky in a box.
I got my jerky in a box.
100% Canadian.
It's jerky in a box. I can't get that over.
Jerky in a box.
Doesn't have the same cadence.
No. I wonder if people will know. Anyway, see ya.
See you guys.
Bye.
I'm in the firing line right now. If that
Learn
guy
from Cameron on that one.
You didn't stick your head in the seat?
No.
Where did he go?
Yeah. Funny enough, there was a doghouse, and I stuck my head in it, and there he was.
Yeah, I see us going. I do not move.
You just wasted some of your life listening to the Bush League Podcast. You must stop what you're doing right now. Like and subscribe and leave a 5-star rating. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and like us on Facebook.